What you mean? Woo! Hold up. Whoa, 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 whoa. What you mean? Woo! Hold up now. Don't know what you think. Compare me to.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and you're tuned in to Madden 18 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, it's a rematch of last year's NFC Championship game and the debut of the newest stadium in the NFL. It's the Packers and the Falcons. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL. The National Football League is here and on the air. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with the Green Bay Packers. And hi again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at our matchup here. You've got to believe that this is a game that might be won in the trenches.
Oh, without question. This is big person on big person, big unit against big unit.
Meat on meat.
Oh, you got it all. Pick your cliche, but we know this. The ground's going to shake, things are going to rumble, and they're going to have an impact on today's game.
The veteran kicker Mason Crosby set to do the honors here. And we are underway from Atlanta. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the man taking number 3 overall back in 2008. It's their now veteran quarterback, Matt Ryan.
And at times, it's hard for me to believe I'm saying veteran Matt Ryan. Still remember him coming out of Boston College, full of enthusiasm, mastered their 2-minute drill in his first OTA. What a player.
Now Ryan on first down. He goes underneath to Freeman. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Second down now after the pass completion. Off the bootleg, Ryan. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Here now the offensive starters for Atlanta.
It's real easy to express how much you love about Julio Jones' game because when you watch him perform, you see a little bit of everything. You see speed, you see strength, you see the power with the run after catch. But what you don't see is the work he puts in during the week, and you also don't see this. A number 1 receiver, one of the best in the league, that doesn't act like a diva.
3rd and 2, now Ryan. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he's going to be shoved down pretty hard. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, it should open up his running game, too. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
No gain on the play there, second down. And let's get a look at the Green Bay defense.
It's often hard to convince coaches and organizations to turn over the running of their defense to a youngster. For Blake Martinez out of Stanford, he did that with Green Bay. Had the smarts, excellent tackler, and was able to run Green Bay's defense as a rookie in 2016.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Here's Ryan to throw. Drops it off for Coleman. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Finding Gabriel, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
And now a first down following that long gain. This is Coleman. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back at the 13-yard line. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Ryan now off the bootleg. And his throw here's incomplete. Levine Toilolo, the tight end, is intended target. 3rd down here.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2. From the gun, it's Ryan. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the 1st down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So on 4th down, off goes Matt Ryan, and on is another Matt Bryant. And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. Set to return, this is Jeff Janis. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
I remember meeting him when he was playing at Cal, and I remember walking away thinking, instead of having Rodgers stitched on the back of his jersey, it should just say confidence, because that's how he felt about his own abilities and his ability to elevate a team.
Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. This will go for 5 up to the 33. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Rodgers to Cobb, good for a Green Bay first. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st down, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. That's a matchup maybe they go back to their outer third of the field as this game continues.
Yeah, I think back to my high school coach, John Ford. He used to say when we got big plays early in a game or good plays, he'd always say, foul it away, lad, foul it away, because he'd want to come back to it later in a key situation. They may come back to this one a little more often than that.
Didn't he say laddie or did he say lad?
Yeah, it just depended on what he was feeling at the moment.
Okay, I thought that was the guy you told me about. He used to say laddie a lot.
Laddie, when you heard laddie, he was usually in a pretty good mood. Lad, eh.
And incomplete on the deep ball. The starting defense for the Falcons.
Sometimes it's as simple as putting the player in the right position, and Vic Beasley has found that in Atlanta. A stand-up outside linebacker who has the ability to move up and down the line of scrimmage to find the right matchups for his speed and quickness so he can go get to the quarterback. 15.5 sacks in his second season, also forced 6 fumbles, and can be used as a spy at times against mobile quarterbacks.
On second down, Montgomery. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Calling about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You foresee incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he's got Bennett. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20 at the 15. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. In the red zone this time. Montgomery back to the ground. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I think many people thought Ty Montgomery would automatically go back to being a wide receiver this year, but it appears he's going to stay at running back. I know they drafted Jamal Williams from BYU, but Montgomery proving his worth.
And he proved it, proved it last year. 5.4 yards per carry, 4th best in the league. And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the 1st quarter. It's a 3-point game here early. We're back to Atlanta in just a moment. This is the NFL, and you're watching EA Sports. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. Working from the gun, Rodgers. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
They'll run with Montgomery. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Not a whole lot there after the penalty, but remember, it was 1st and 5, not 1st and 10. So now they can keep grinding out 1st downs, and good things can happen for them. Just 2nd and short coming up.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashid Hageman in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Now on 3rd and goal. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Devontae Adams from 8 yards out. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field. And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And the result, a Green Bay score. Crosby on now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. So out come the Falcons now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy. It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board. 3 points is 3 points. And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run. On 2nd down, Ryan. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, Ryan. He finds Coleman. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion. I think of Tevin Coleman as a really good combo back. He can run it, but in terms of being a 3rd down back, I think he ranks with the best in the league. So good at leaking out of the backfield. Ryan finding him there for the Falcons first. Now a play fake here on first down. Caught by Jones. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more on that one and another first down.
I know that's their first connection in this game, but you and I both know that Julio Jones is without a doubt his quarterback's favorite target.
Oh, yeah, Matt Ryan loves this guy. And who wouldn't?
Yeah, and the reason that he's that is because of his dependability. And quarterbacks have to have that from their receivers, meaning they know where they're going to be when they're running certain routes. They don't break them on them. They don't change them up and do their own freelance stuff and put their quarterbacks in bad situations. Matt Ryan has ultimate trust in Julio Jones.
This is Freeman on first and 10. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Ryan finding Gabriel for the Falcon first down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Freeman looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Coleman now. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. When halftime rolls around in just a bit, we'll send you to Orlando. You will hear the dulcet tones of Mr. Larry Ridley with our EA Sports halftime report.
Does dulcet mean good?
Yeah, it's just something that broadcasters say. It's got to be good, right?
It's got to be good.
You tell me.
Well, it's got to be good if Larry's doing it.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Ryan, and he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, a 12-yard touchdown grab, and the Falcons are in for 6.
Brandon, what we just saw there were 2 guys who are in sync. The person delivering the ball, but especially the person running the route. Tremendous job. It results in a terrific play.
Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Second down here after the incomplete pass. Rodgers going to throw again. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on third. On third down, they go Montgomery. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. On fourth down, here's Justin Vogel on to punt it away. Back deep is Justin Hardy. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive. On first down, Ryan. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. From midfield now, here's Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. His throw incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing again, Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. From the red zone now, here's Ryan on 1st down. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA halftime report. The Falcons are up right now and are looking to keep up the pressure moving forward. The Packers won't panic either. They know they just need to take it one play at a time. All right, let's get straight to it. Here's some highlights from the first half. Packers now on 3rd and 8. The pass will be caught over the middle. And finally on play 12, they score. The Packers go up by 4. 2nd and 2 coming up. It's Matthews who will get the sack here. This one ends up as a loss of 6. Falcons now later on the drive. Completion is made across the middle of the field. And this goes 12 yards for the score. That puts them up by a field goal. Falcons line up at the 13. Burnett's got the sack here. This will go for a loss of 7. So that'll do it for us here in Orlando. For the call of the second half, let's hand it back over to Brandon and Charles. Brandon.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Packers get set to go. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. First down, Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, but it looked like a Packer. Yeah, a Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A near turnover, but the offense recovers it. Now they'll try to regroup on second. Rodgers going to give this one to Montgomery. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. He gets him moving forward again with an 8-yard run, but they'll still be left with 14 yards to go on third.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The Packers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. They go play action for Montgomery, and now Rodgers lets it go for Nelson. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Packers. Jordy Nelson, 78 yards. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. Well, they had gone run the previous play. Nice little setup. This time they go play action. Defense bites a bit, and they hit for a big play in the end zone.
So they sold it really well, didn't they? Because of just what you described. They ran it the previous play, come back with the same action, and now they step back and throw it and get a big play for a touchdown. But what happens as a defensive back is your eyes have to go to the right place. You always hear Coach talk about, are your eyes in the right spot? Well, this time the eyes went to the play action. It froze their feet. They weren't moving, and he went on past them and caught the pass for a touchdown.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. Crosby on now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Looking left sideline, it's complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be a second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Ryan will throw again. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Second and goal as the offense looks to try to punch it in. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
The offense on 3rd down, they have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and goal. Here's Ryan to throw. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
So on 4th down, off goes Matt Ryan, and on is another Matt Bryant. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. A decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they do inch a bit closer.
Yeah, still lots of time to go in this one. Take the points, move on, and let your defense try to get the ball back.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Rodgers now on first down. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They go play action here on first down. And he's got some space here. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Fresh set of downs here. From midfield, here's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he's got Bennett. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. 10 yards still left on second down. To throw is Rodgers. Throwing again. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he is knocked down and then landed on pretty awkwardly. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And Crosby puts it through, and high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Ryan now off the bootleg. He's got his man on the crossing route. They're calling a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Ryan. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 23 yards on the play. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Second and 10. It's Ryan again. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. Touchdown, Falcons! Devontae Freeman, 35 yards. And the Falcons have taken the lead here in the 4th. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So that drive, 4 plays, and the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now a play fake here on first down. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 15 yards through the air on a first down. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
Draw play, Rodgers to Montgomery. Montgomery hit, and the ball is loose. And the Falcons grab it. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
And a great spot to start this drive from here. Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Off the bootleg, Ryan. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Eric Saubert from 17 yards out. And the Falcons capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Bryant now to tack on the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So 2nd and 10 here. To throw again, Rodgers. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 10. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Rodgers. It's caught. Nelson. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. The old connection, Rodgers to Nelson, getting Green Bay a first down. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Rodgers now on first down. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 5 yards on the pickup, and it's a second down. Second down to the offense, needing 5 yards. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still second down.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And here now come the Falcons. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is make sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. They run from the pistol here with Freeman. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. Call it an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They run, Devontae Freeman. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Ryan wants to throw it. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Throwing now is Ryan. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. The Falcons on third down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. Here it's 3rd and 2. Back to the running game. It's Freeman. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Oh, look at this. Ryan's going to throw it. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, his second touchdown of the night. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing is ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them, because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. Freeman. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. The Falcons on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Ryan heads down to a knee, and that should wrap this one up. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal, that's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.